Good day, everyone. We are the group 3. We're gonna discuss chapter 12, risk management. So, let's get started. First is dealing with business risk. So, as a business owner, you will face different types of risk, which means there is a chance you could lose money or face problems. These risks can come from people like thieves or accidents, nature like typhoons or floods, or the economy like inflation or a drop in sales. Risk management means doing things to protect your business from these problems or to lessen their impact. You can avoid the risk not doing something risky. Accept the risk, deal with it yourself, or transfer the risk like getting insurance to cover it. So next is identifying risk. So human risk are problems caused by people, like when an employee steals from the business, a customer shoplifts, or someone uses a fake credit card. That is human risk. And natural disaster came from nature, such as typhoons, fires, floods, or earthquakes, which can badly damage your business. And economic risk is happen when the economy changes, like when prices go up, sales go down, or there less demand for your product. So all of these risks can lead to big losses. So it's important to be prepared. So how to be prepared? You have to face the risk. So as a business owner, you need to be ready to handle different kinds of risk. You have to choose the best way to deal with them. One way is to avoid the risk. For example, if you think a new product won't sell well, you can stop making it to avoid losing money. So this is to prepare for risk. You should do the following. So number 1 is determine what can go wrong. Develop a plan and communicate your plan. So next is determine what can go wrong. So as a business owner, the first step you should take is to do a risk check. This means looking at all parts of your business to find out what problems or dangers could happen, so you can prepare for them. Next is develop a plan. So after you find out what risk could affect your business, you should make a written plan on how to handle them. This plan helps you stay ready and safe. Sometimes, you also need to follow rules set by the government. For example, OSHA requires businesses to have a plan to safety get people out during emergencies like fires or earthquake. And communicate your plan. So make sure your managers and employees understand your plan for dealing with risk. To make this plan work well, give each person a specific job or responsibility. For example, if you're worried about selling a broken product, You can ask the production manager to check the product's quality before it's sold. So next is types of thief. So one of the biggest problems a business can face is stealing. Some people may take items without paying, even workers. Thieves might break into your store and take equipment. Others may use fake credit cards or checks with no money in the bank to buy things. So, example of this is shoplifting. So, shoplifting means someone takes something from a store without paying for it on purpose. This happens in many stores and causes big money losses every year. If you own a store, you need to find ways to stop or lessen shoplifting to protect your business. So this is some of the things you can do include the following. Number 1 is instruct your employees to watch for customer who appear suspicious. Number 2, hire security guards or off-duty police officers to patrol your store. Number 3, post signs indicating that you persecute shoplifters. Number 4, ask incoming customers to leave their bags behind the counter. Number 5, install electronic devices such as mounted video cameras, electronic merchandise tags, and point of exit sensors to detect the shoplifters. So next is employee thief. So most workers are honest with their jobs well, but some might steal things like supplies, products, or even money from the business. This can cause the business to lose money and have problems. So, if you own such a business, you may need to adapt the following procedures. So, number 1, prevent dishonest employees from joining your company. Number 2, install surveillance systems. Number 3, establish a tough company policy regarding employee theft. Number 4, be on the lookout. Yun. And next is robbery. So, most business can be target for robbery. To help prevent this, you can put your business in a safer area. You can also use strong locks and install alarms to protect your store. So next is credit card fraud. Business owners lose a lot of money every year because of stolen credit cards. If someone buys something with a stolen cards or credit card, the business might not get paid. To avoid this, businesses can use a system called an electronic credit authorizer. This system checks if the credit card is valid before the purchase goes through, helping to prevent fraud. And next is a bounce check. So bounce check is a check that the bank refuses to pay because the person who wrote it doesn't have enough money in their account. It's also called a bad check. It can be hard to avoid losing money from bad checks, but one way to lower the risk is to only accept checks from banks in your own state.
Classification of risk. Today, let's talk about risk, something every business and individual faces. But not all risks are the same. We can classify risk in three main ways: result, controllability, and insurability. Let's start with result. There are two types here: pure risk. This is when only a loss can happen. An example is car accident. Next is speculative risk. This type involves a chance of gain or loss. Think of investing in the stock market. You could earn money or lose it. Next is controllability. Controllable risks. These are risks you can reduce or manage. For example, installing security cameras to prevent theft. Next is uncontrollable risks. These are risks you can't do anything about, like natural disasters or the weather. Lastly, let's look at insurability. Insurable risks. These risks are predictable and can be covered by insurance, like fire or car accidents. Next is uninsurable risks. These are unpredictable and usually not covered by insurance. And that brings us to our second main topic. Next is uninsurable risks. Uninsurable risks are business risks that insurance companies usually won't cover because they are too unpredictable or hard to measure. Here are some examples. First is economic conditions. A recession or global crisis can hurt your business, and it's impossible to predict exactly when it will happen. Next is consumer demand. Sudden changes in what customers want can leave your products unsold. Next is competitors' actions. If your competitor suddenly lowers their prices or launches a big marketing campaign, your sales could drop. Next is technology changes. If your business doesn't keep up with new technology, you might lose customers to more advanced competitors. Next is local factors. Things like nearby construction or new laws can affect how customers reach your store or how you operate. Next is business operations. Poor management decisions, lack of training, or employee issues can lead to failure. And insurance won't cover that. So remember, understanding the different types of risk and especially what can be insured helps businesses prepare smarter and reduce surprises.
Next, we have buying insurance. Buying insurance protects your business from financial loss. Choose a trusted agent and compare policies. Make sure your coverage matches the value of your assets and potential risks. So we have key considerations in buying insurance. First, we have choose an insurance agent. An insurance agent can be independent or work for one company. So it's important to compare several agents before choosing. A good agent helps explain policies and can support you when you file a claim. Choose someone you trust as they play a key role in your financial protection. Second, we have determine how much coverage you need. List all your business assets and assign values to know what needs coverage. Think about potential risks like theft or natural disasters, and choose insurance that protects against those. Be sure your coverage is enough to pay off any business debts if something happens. Next, we have risk in international business. So, in doing business in a foreign country can be difficult. You will encounter problems that you probably have not run into in the United States. These new challenges will arise for several reasons. First, we have you may not speak the language of the countries you are targeting. This means language barrier can hinder communication between businesses and customers. If you cannot speak the local language, you may not be able to clearly explain your product or service, which can lead to misunderstandings and lost sales. Second, we have you may not be familiar with the laws, customs, and cultures of foreign countries. This means every country has unique laws and cultural norms. Not understanding this can lead to unintentional offenses or legal trouble. For example, certain gestures or behaviors acceptable in one country may be seen as disrespectful in another. Third, we have you may have to change your products or services to meet the needs of new markets. This means consumer preferences differ around the world. What sells in the US may not appeal to buyers elsewhere. Businesses often need to modify their offerings to meet local tastes and expectations. Lastly, we have your travel and shipping expenses may be high. This means international businesses can be involved costly logistics, flights, freight, and customs fees can be add up, making operations more expensive than domestic business. Next is strategies for dealing with global risk. When doing business globally, make a plan with clear goals and identify possible risks. Study the target market to understand the challenges. Use strategies to handle international business risk effectively. So, first we have seek government assistance to answer your questions about international business. This means government organizations like the SBA or the International Trade Administration can offer support such as market research, advice, and networking opportunities for businesses looking to expand globally. Second, we have conduct business in many different countries. This means spreading your business across multiple countries helps minimize risk. If instability or other issues affect one market, your business can still thrive in others. Third, we have work with local business partners. This means partnering with companies in the target country can improve your credibility and acceptance among local consumers. These partners also provides valuable local insights. Fourth, we have employ local management. This means hiring managers from within the target country ensure your business better understands the local culture, politics, and business practices. They can guide necessary adjustments in operations and marketing. Lastly, we have learned about the other country's culture. This means cultural sensitivity is essential for international success. Understanding the beliefs, values, and customs of your target market helps build trust and avoid misunderstanding.
Types of insurance. Insurance is a financial product or service that provides protection against potential losses or risk. It involves a contract between an individual or organization, the policyholder, and an insurance company, the insurer, where the policyholder pays premiums in exchange for the insurer's promise to compensate for covered losses or damages. First type of insurance is business insurance. Business insurance provides financial protection for business against various risks and uncertainties. It helps companies manage potential losses, reduces financial uncertainty, and ensure continuity. Next, life insurance. Life insurance is a contract that provides financial protection for loved ones in the event of the policyholder's death. It helps cover expenses, pay off debts, and ensure financial stability. Risk in the workplace. Workplace risk refers to the potential for harm, injury, or damage to employees, assets, or the organization itself, arising from various hazards and threats in the work environment. Workplace risks encompass various hazards that can cause harm, including fall from heights, machinery, malfunctions, electrical hazards, fire, and exposure to chemical or biological agents. Additionally, psychological factors like bullying, harassment, and high workloads can negatively impact mental health and well-being. Federal Employee Compensation. Federal employee compensation refers to the benefits and pay provided to the federal employees, including salary, incentives, insurance, retirement benefits, and other benefits, as well as workers' compensation for work-related injury or illness. Next, workers' compensation. Workers' compensation is a type of insurance that provides benefits to employees who are injured or become ill as a result of their job, covering medical expenses, loss, wages, and other related costs. Workers' compensation provides financial protection to employees who suffer work-related injuries or illness, covering medical expenses, lost wages, rehabilitation costs, and disability benefits, while also limiting employer liability.